This will be the last game of the evening. As you can tell, looking out towards the north, center field, that's the big brand new basketball complex. And you're looking up into the mountains of northern Georgia, looking straight into, I guess, what would be a couple hours up the interstate of 75, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Not too sure of the rules on this game for being a championship. It's probably a full 2 hour. Might not be any time limit. We may, if there's no run rule, we may get to go a full 7 innings. I can't set the other scoreboard until I know. All right, so it looks like the Dream National is going to be the away team. High Toms is going to be the home team here. Or excuse me, High Toms. Why I keep saying High Toms? That was our fall team. We are away. All right, I have no clue the batting lineup either. So we're just going to wing it until PBR gets it up and running. So stay tuned for some live action. This is going to be the last game of the night, folks. It's been a long day at Lake Point Sports Complex, Emerson, Georgia. We've went from 15 teams, and we are officially down to 2. Looks like Lake Point is still inputting information. This is Bearden, number 7. So that was a good guess. Just keep in mind, folks, I don't have any control over the stream. It's probably frozen just because the tower is trying to input the lineup still. If it keeps spinning like this, I'll try to refresh it. But just give it a few minutes. Be patient. Eventually that scoreboard in the top left-hand corner will reset. There's my on-deck guy there going to get that baseball. Couldn't make out his number. We got a strikeout there for Hitdogs. Double zero. I think this is Mr. Sanders. Give me just a few minutes here, folks. I'm gonna get the other scoreboard updated while we're in between the middle of the. All right, folks. So I got the batting lineup straightened out. Looks like Lake Point is still having some streaming issues with their camera feed. They're probably still inputting some information up in the tower, so it probably just causes a delay. So just be patient. I'll see if I can get this to refresh here. We'll give it just another minute here, folks, and then I might have to email the tower and let them know to reset the live stream on the field. Hold tight. Nothing I can do about this, folks. Just be patient with me. I have emailed the tower to let them know to reset the cameras on field 10. They've been very responsive all weekend. I'm going to check another field here real quick. Appreciate your patience, everybody, because I don't know what's going on there either. I'm sitting in my living room, just trying to follow the action, root for the Dream National while they're playing Illinois Hitdogs for the championship game. But I do know I get to change my picture though. Here we go. Well, it looks like Garrett Dittmeyer struck out. So we got through the first inning. 0-0. Garrett Dittmeyer just struck out. Means Campbell is probably up to the plate. Looks like the Dream Nationals got a runner on. Mr. Mulder just walked, I believe. Just be patient, folks. Vincent's working on it. He's our director of operations there at Lake Point for this weekend. He's doing a fine job. All right, looks like Nixon, aka Juice, just struck out. So the Dream 14U national team is back on the field. I'm trying, folks. Vincent is trying. This is just miserable. Waited 2 hours to watch a championship game, and it's just spinning around the clock here. It's like we got 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Do screen the pitcher. As far as I can tell, there's no runners on. And Holly just grounded out, fielded out, flew out, did something, but we're through 2 innings, folks. Due up to bat is going to be the pitcher, due screen, then Rivera, and Caldwell. Everybody gets to see me communicating with Vincent. Deuce got hit by a pitch. They got a sub runner for Deuce Green. They put in Daniel Brett to run for him. I'll just keep it right here on Game Changer until we can actually...
It's the top of the third. The Dream Baseball Club 14U, 0. Hitdogs Illinois Reach 14U Summer, 0. A Rivera is at bat. B. Bruns pitching. 1 on, no 1 out. The count is 2-0.
Ball 3.
The count is 3-0.
Strike 1.
The count is 3-1.
Ball 4. Take a base.
A Rivera walks. B. Bruns pitching. D. Brett advances to second. E. Caldwell steps up to the plate.
All right, we are back to live action. I really don't want to leave the screen and tell Vincent that it's back up and running, but it is what it is. No outs, first and second, left-handed batter. This would be another one of those prime opportunities to lay down a bunt. All right, I got all the dogs in the house, so let's see if they'll behave. Ooh, almost hit him. That'll put us back to the top of the lineup, folks, with Bearden. Bases loaded, no outs. I can't thank everybody enough for your patience. Well, there's a will, there's a way. I can only thank Vincent at Lake Point Sports Complex for resetting the streaming feed, making this available to our audience. scoreboard operator there is a little bit quicker than the stream itself. Must be a few seconds delay between live action and that stream. Alright, that time the runner peeled off, so no interference on a high throw to first base. Now got runners on the corners. Let's see if I can get my scoreboard right. Ooh. Out trying to steal. You sure it's only 1-0? I thought we scored a run in the first inning. I guess not. Starting getting a little chilly there, folks. The sun's going down. I already see some people wrapped up in their blankets again already. Pitcher can't keep his hat on. Fly ball to center field for an out. All right, folks, we're back to live action. Do screen on the mound. Bottom of the third inning. Shortstop just could not field that cleanly. Looked like his feet got in the way of his glove. Nothing hurt. The Hit Dogs have proven that they got some bats in this event because they walked it off just about 1 hour ago in the semifinal game in order to get to this championship. Got a little excitement there. Garrett goes over and talks to Deuce. Looks like Garrett's playing first base this game. That's good on his arm after just pitching a complete game, 7 innings. 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 8 strikeouts for a 2-1 victory in the semifinal game in order to get his team, the Dream National, to advance to this championship. A little double leg pump action there by Deuce just to get the batter's timing off a little bit. Wonder why he chose the number 44 and not 2. If I was at the facility, I would probably interview Deuce and ask him that same exact question. Wouldn't hurt to ask him what his favorite sport is too. See if he says baseball. That should be caught. Yes, sir. Fly out to center. 2 outs. Looks like Deuce has got really good composure there on the mound. He's got really good mound presence. Relying on those 7 fielders behind him to do a job while he does his. Another error. That was in on the hands of the batter. Third baseman just could not field it cleanly. Got a young lady in the audience asking them to clean it up a little bit. They're going to have to if they want to win this championship game unless their bats get really hot. Killebrew is this young man's last name. We know a Killebrew. We know a Keegan Killebrew. I don't think he's from Illinois, though. Deuce loses his footing on the mound. 3-0 pitch. Catcher's going to go out and talk to him for a second. Say, hey man, you just got to throw a strike right here. It's 3-0. You ain't going to swing. I'm going to give you a good target right down the pipe. You put it in my glove. I shouldn't even have to move it. Yes, sir. Another runner out. Oh, he missed it. It's all right. Won't hurt nothing. It's called strike 2. Runner advances to second. You got a full count. If this is ball 4, he was going to get the bag anyways, but let's strike him out or give us something that we can get this out and shut down this inning and roll on to the 4th. Walked him. Every time he double leg pumps, he doesn't get down low enough. All right, we got a paper book here telling our catcher it's top of the inning, or excuse me, top of the roster, batting lineup. The catcher does not signal to his fielders we're top. Lefty, right side hot. Right side of the infield is going to be hot here, folks. Garrett's over at first base. He should be playing about 10 steps behind the bag. Give himself a little bit of range and a little bit of room. Oh, they got him. Yep. Yes, sir. I love the audience there. That was probably Coach Green saying, not this week. The first base coach is sitting there having a conversation with that base runner like, haven't we learned our lesson yet? All right, folks, that gets us through 3 innings. Score of 1-0. The Dream National over Illinois Hitdogs. Boy, there must be some action going on behind us. I believe that's a 13U championship game. Those parents and those fans are just going ecstatic. It's great to hear at the ballpark. All the youth support, positive vibes. I guess Evers thinks so too. Wanted to bark. All right, we got our 3, 4, 5 hitters going here. Part of our lineup. Try to get something started here. This is Pierce. Garrett Dittmeyer is on deck, followed by Campbell. That's deep. Oh, nice catch by the center fielder. It looked like it was over his head, and he just reached out for it, stayed on his feet, and made the catch for the first out. All right, Garrett Dittmeyer 0 for 1. We missed the strikeout earlier. This pitcher can't keep his head on. I would like to thank Lake Point Sports Complex once again for working diligently on resetting their camera feeds from the tower. I know my dad is saying something subliminally about that hat falling off on every pitch. You know, I'd rather see the hat fall off and the pitcher stay in a defensive position just in case the ball comes right back at him than worrying about the hat. I think Garrett's only got one hit in this event, but he's got about 6 or 7 walks. His on-base percentage is very high. And that's how you score runs. You got to get on base first. At this point, that's 5 straight balls. I would tell my batters, you're not swinging until you got a strike on you. That was a rocket down third. Come on, Jax. I got 2 in 1. So does Lake Point. And I'll take it. Garrett moves over to second. Jax is now on first. Yeah, great time for a hit and run with the left-handed batter. Or just stay disciplined and don't swing until you get a strike on you. That's probably the mentality of the coaching staff right now. This kid is just not on tonight. See if he can battle through it. Yeah, there's a strike. Catcher's going to come out and settle him down a little bit. Catcher's allowed 4 visits to the mound per inning. And as we all know, the coaching staff is only allowed 2, then they got to pull the pitcher. So good look at Garrett Dittmeyer's lead off there. There it is. Backside hit. Well played. That was well executed right there. Backside to left field on the left with a left-handed batter. Another lefty here. That looked like a strike from Statesville, North Carolina. The catcher's going to go out and talk again. That'd be number 2. Just so the audience knows, anytime that there's a mound visit by either coach or a catcher, the percentage of throwing a strike on that next pitch is around 83% accurate. Another well hit ball. That ball's down. Everybody's safe. Center fielder trying to make a diving catch there and just didn't come down with it. So we got another base hit, bases loaded, 1 out. We might be seeing a mound visit here by the coach here in just a second. He's looking over towards his dugout. Yep, here comes the coach. Looks like we're going with a different pitcher. Pitcher there was handing the ball off to the coach. Yep. Got another young man coming in out of the bullpen, so we're going to take a break while he warms up. We'll be back here in just a few minutes with more live action. All right, we're back to live action. First pitch strike for this young man. We got Juice up the bat. The center fielder dropped that ball. Wasn't on the transfer. Error. Scores another run. Coach's kid, Deuce. Also the pitcher for this game, so see if he can help himself out a little bit more here. Kid's got a big barrel. Nice frame. Comes from the left side of the plate with a lot of power. Could do some real damage right here. I think the center fielder caught that one. Another great catch. He's getting some workout out there. A sack fly. Runner tagged up. They're going to go check third base just to make sure that he didn't leave early. All right, got another lefty here, Mr. Rivera. Nice leg kick on delivery there. He's got a good frame, left hand side of the plate, a lot of power. Looks like the pitcher came off the bag, folks. You can review it with the home plate umpire, but as a field ump, that's your call. Maybe they're going to talk about getting some ice cream after the game. That's right. All right, last batter in our lineup, and then we're going to roll back to the top, folks. Juice is doing a little dance there at second base. Catcher signaling to his left fielder to come in a little bit, playing a little bit too deep. Good hustle there by Mr. Beard and our on-deck young man for getting those balls for the umpire. This young man's seeing it. We just need to time it up. Put one in play here, buddy. All right, we're battling back with a 2-2 count. Oh. Call balk? He sure did. That's going to advance 2 more runners and score another one. We got a 5-0 ball game. Looks like the game behind us has concluded. That's the East Cott boys walking out of the facility in their Sunday red. The white pants, the Red Sox. That was a fantastic innings, as we hear somebody in the audience say that. I'm going in the bottom of the 4th inning with a 5-0 ball game. The Dream has stepped it up. Some disciplined base running, some disciplined batting. Some bats have gotten hot at the right time, as there's no game after this. It is Championship Sunday. All right, folks, one more pitch. Oh, yeah, that's money. Looks like we got a defensive change. We've moved Daniel Brett over to third. Some fist pumps there to Deuce as he manages the mound. Defense giving him a little bit of reassurance that we got your back as we get our first batter in the bottom of the 4th inning here. This young man's got some awfully bright yellow batting gloves. Sorry about that loud ruckus there, folks. That's one of the dogs dropping a bone on my floor. Good pitch. Struck him out. Oh, that's a hard pitch to hit for a lefty. Inside, low in the zone. If he gets a hold of that, it's going to get pulled down that right field line. So you got to be on standby for those. Looks like Deuce is going to go from the windup. Having a little fun with it. Yes, sir. He doesn't do that double leg kick pump there. He's spot on. Golf cart going by, giving some people a ride back to their vehicles. It's like some Deuce has got some confidence in Garrett Dittmeyer over there at first base to keep that base runner. Right-hand batter here. Third base needs to be on their toes, moving. Could hit into a double play still if he pulls one. I was getting a little buzzing noise there, so I wanted to turn it off and adjust my volume control a little bit to make it easier on our audience's ears. And while in doing so, we had a fly ball to right field, played perfectly and gotten back in to keep those runners still at first and second base with 2 outs. love how the defense is set up and the second baseman is holding that runner at second with a right-handed batter in the box, and it's not the shortstop's bag. That shortstop has got to stay in that hot hole with a right-handed batter. That's why he stays in the hot hole. He kept that ball in the dirt, kept that base runner at third base. Bases loaded, any back, 2 outs. Well played by the third baseman. Woo! I've got Daniel Brett in my software, so I can give him that highlight. We're in the top of the 5th, and we're in the top of our batting lineup, folks. We're going to go Bearden, Foster, and Pierce. You know, I'm not too sure what just happened right there. A young man had the ball, went up onto the mound, ran off the field with the ball. I'm curious if this is the same kid, because technically once he touched the rubber, he declares himself as the pitcher. Hopefully it's the same kid and it doesn't matter. I will say, folks, once Lake Point Sports Complex did a camera reset, we haven't had many other issues. It's a little jittery at times, but it's okay. Philosophy from the coaching staff right here. You don't swing till you got a strike on you. Or with a 5-0 lead, green light. Great at bat, young man. Way to start off the inning. Oh yeah, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Our boy Pierce here's got some bright yellow gloves on too. He must be an Atlanta Braves fan. Or maybe just Acuna. All right, 2-0. Should be the best pitch right here. See if the coach is going to give him the green light. Should be right down the pipe. This has got to be a strike. Nope. Now you suck up on that white line and pinch that plate a little bit for ball 4. Perfect. All right, bases loaded. Garrett Dittmeyer up the bat. Let's see if we can open this up a little bit. Oh, they're talking about Buckeyes in the stadium there. I see Mom moving into position to get her camera on. Give him something to hit, pitcher. Good discipline by the batter. Up in the zone, those are dangerous if you get on top of that. There it is. Another hard hit ball to right field. Sacrifice fly scores another run. First mound visit of the inning for the catcher. As I've said once before, he gets 4 per inning. Catcher's doing a good job of closing that 5-hole. Oh, send him. He's there. Hard hit ball to third. Bounced off of him. Scores another run. That's going to give us runners on the corner. Updated score 7-0. We get a couple more runs here. We can start talking about run rule maybe. At the conclusion of the game, I will keep the stream on for a little bit as both teams shake hands, and one of these is going to come out of here as champions, so we'll get a little presentation from Lake Point. Backside hit. Scores another run. Good disciplined batting there. Not trying to do too much with the baseball. Just put it back where it come from. Got a courtesy runner coming in for, I guess he's our catcher, because that wasn't Deuce. Oh, yeah. Oh. That was close. Almost pulled one down the right field line. That's trouble. Caught by the right fielder for the second out. All right, here comes Mr. Nixon, a.k.a. Juice. He's 0 for 2 on the night. He's going to change that right here. He's going to put one in play. Wonder what time all these Illinois people had their flights for. The Atlanta airport is completely on the other side of downtown, so that's an hour and a half from here with traffic. Traffic won't be too bad, but Atlanta traffic's always bad. Then again, maybe they're driving. They'll get home sometime tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Looks like the coach is coming out. That's going to be it for that young man tonight, and he's going to another kid. Going to take a break here. Let this young man warm up, and we'll be back for more live action in just a few. All right, umpire signal 2 more pitches. Everybody's getting back to their positions. We got our own pitcher coming up to the plate. Try to open this game up a little bit more. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Nice strong kid coming from the left-hand side of the batter's box. Can do a lot of damage here. Yes, sir. Off the glove. That's going to score 2. We're in the 5th inning. That's going to be enough for a run rule, I believe, folks. The Illinois Hitdogs are going to be able to get their at-bat in. But we'll see what happens. We got a courtesy runner coming in for Deuce. Pitcher's taking something off of his wrist there. We got a lot of lefties in this lineup. Whoa. Yes, sir. That's going to score a run. Two-0 pitch. Had the right idea there. Try to muscle one backside. Good discipline there by the first baseman to pick that ball out of the turf. Guess he held gained control of it enough for the third out. All right, we got a score of 11-0. It's 10 runs after 5. Maybe even 8 runs after 5. I'm not going to risk going to look at the rules and lose my stream. We had enough issues with the video at the beginning of this game. I'm not going to risk anything now. A lot of the noise in the background has went away, folks. All the other games have concluded. This is the last game of the evening for the Gold Championship. Catcher is signal 2. This will be the last pitch by the pitcher. We're going to have a throw down. And then we'll get a young man in the box. Ouch. I'm going to say, give me one more. That's better. Whoa. Being on turf, that's a one hop in there. That looked good from here. Three-0 pitch. All right, catcher. Give him a good target. That ball's got to be right down the pipe. Yes, sir. Yep. Get there. That's a hard throw. We got a new first baseman for this innings. I can't tell any of the other defensive positions because I don't know most of these boys. Great catch. Oh no. Just a little bit out of his reach. Boy, if he would have caught that, that would have been a double play. All right, there's mound visit number 1 by our catcher. Just going to tell the pitcher, settle down a little bit. Don't worry about the base runners. Let the defense do their job. You just throw strikes. Control what you can control. Good backside hit there. All right, hit dogs are coming alive. Looks like we're going to have a mound visit by the Coach Green. Looks like that's going to be it for Deuce tonight. So come on, Dad. Really? All right, number 5 on the mound. I'm going to do a pitcher change here on my software. That's going to be Daniel Brett taking over the mound for Deuce Green. Strong right-hand pitcher. Looks like Coach Green's got some camouflage leggings up underneath them shorts of his. That's the right move by Coach Green. You should get through that batting lineup 2 or 3 times. Those batters can time up that pitcher pretty quick, and the pitcher's getting a little bit tired, so. All right, here we go. Bases loaded, no outs. New pitcher. Got 11 run cushion. So this strike's a good question. New pitcher. Does the catcher mound visits reset to 4? Or does the first one still count and that was his second? Just as soon as this game goes final, I'm going to turn off my scoreboard for the word presentation. Struck him out. All right, here comes Yellow Gloves from the left-hand side. Catcher's moving his body too much on that outside corner pitch. He needs to stay put, let his arm do the work, and pull that ball back in. That was a great block. Great camera view, getting me a look at the defense a little bit. Hitdogs get on the board with their first run. That base runner will be credited to Deuce. The runner on first belongs to Daniel. I believe the coach went out there and told that young man at second base, you have got to score to keep this game going another inning. All right, so is that mound visit number 2 or is that mound visit number 3 for the catcher? I'll have to ask AI maybe tomorrow if the catcher visit resets with a new pitcher. Everybody's telling Daniel, just throw strikes. 7 behind you. Control what you can control. Great pitch. Good location. Foul tip, catcher held on to it for strike 3. That's 2 outs. Good pitch. I believe that's ball game, folks. Hitdogs have been run ruled. You get my scoreboard off. I'm not sure what happened there. The complex turned off the cameras. Well, I guess we're not going to see the award presentation. That game is final, 11-1. That's going to conclude our stream. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great week. And we got school ball this week. I don't know what days our games are, but I will look into that as Garrett and Jessica get home from Atlanta safely. That's it for me. I'm signing off. Good night.